What's going on? How are we doing? So I want to talk about something before we get started with our games today. We're going to be playing some First Ascendant later on and some of the new Zelda game. But I want to talk about something that popped up yesterday, and I've already seen a lot of discussion on it. And that is the time limits on Fortnite. So as we all know, a lot of parents know, all the kids know, Fortnite's been around now for going on like 8 years. It's been around for a long time, and it's still remaining very, very popular, especially with the younger audience. There are still, a lot of people that play it, but there's a lot of younger people that still play it. And some parents are getting to the point where they're like, oh my God, my kid wants to play Fortnite all the time. Well, Epic Games added in a feature that allows you to limit the time limit on the time on the kids' accounts, and also see what they're doing on that account. So I kind of wanted to go over that real quickly. This is the actual update that Epic Games sent out yesterday, and it says today we're introducing a new parental control system, time limit controls, and time reports. So that's basically what they are adding in. And to get to that, this is how you do it. I will show you that here in just a second. So that's going to be all of this and how to set it up. But if parents want to, set their controls 30 minutes left or whatever, that's when kids are going to start to see that. Is when there's 30 minutes left on their timer, they're going to be able to see it. It's going to pop up. It's going to, say, hey, you have 30 minutes left, and the kids can go into their game and they can say, hey, I want to ask for more time. It'll send an email to the parents. The parents can then accept or deny if they want to allow their child to continue to play. And that's basically what this is. So you can then go in also and see the time reports, like how much your child has played. Now, you can also do this on your own account if you want to. So if you're curious how much you are playing, you can actually see the time reports there. And I'm going to show you on my personal account all of these different features. So I have, set it up right over here. I've logged into the Epic Games account. But here, this is like, all your different settings and whatnot, the things that you can check on for your own account. But if you go right down here, parental controls, you may have a PIN if you've already set up a PIN. Hopefully you know what it is. If not, you can hit the forgot PIN. I do know what mine is, so that is mine right there. And it goes right into the parental controls. And this is where you can set up all the parental controls for Fortnite, specifically maybe even all of Epic Games, but I know this works for Fortnite, so you can kind of see all of those kind of things based on this thing right here. This is for Fortnite. So you can allow a pin, or allow or not allow a pin whenever the kids want to purchase things, or V-Bucks or whatever, anything that they want to purchase on their account. I personally turn that off because this is my personal account, but you can easily just toggle that on, and that would just make you, have to enter the PIN. You can change the PIN once you put in your PIN right here, easy peasy. You got social permissions, all the things that you can do here. Can they add friends? Can they see people? Who can they talk to? Those kinds of things. So you can turn those on and off however you want. But the new thing here is going to be the time limits. So this is what it'll look like when you first set up the time limits. Choose for how long you want your child to be able to play. This is your time zone. So it should automatically set this for you based on your time zone. But if it doesn't, you can just go in here, check your time zone, make sure you put it in properly, because if you don't, then everything will be off. And then you click right here to set time limits. From here, right now, default allows the person to play from 7 a.m. until 9 p.m. with no time limit. You can edit this and say, okay, well, from this time, they are allowed to play for, let's say, 1 hour during this huge window, and then you hit save, and it allows 1 hour of time from 7 a.m. until 9 p.m. So that means that if they log in at 8 a.m. and they play for 30 minutes, they can log in then again at 8 p.m. and play for 30 minutes, and that's their 1 hour. Or they can play anytime during this time frame. You can, however, change that and create different windows. So you could say, okay, before school, so maybe 7 a.m. I don't know what time your kids go to school, but you could say, 7 a.m. until let's say, if we can set that up here, we'll say 8 a.m. And then you come here, go boom, 8 a.m. From 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., they're allowed to play for 15 minutes before school starts. So they can get like maybe one game in or whatever. And you can go ahead and save that, and that'll add that in. It'll update it. You can add another window if you want to. So you can say, okay, after school, they're allowed to play from 4 p.m. until 5 p.m. p.m. Let's see if we can get this thing going here. So play until 5 p.m. So they're allowed to play for 1 hour, and we'll go ahead and give them that full hour. So they're allowed to play. If they log in at 4 p.m., they can play all the way up until 5 p.m. If they wait until 4:15, they only get until 5 p.m. though, right? So they might get that whole hour if they log in, but otherwise, they don't get the whole hour because at 5 p.m. it cuts off no matter what. So you can do different things like that, and you can have multiple different time limits. So you can see here we have the two different time limits, but this is 1 hour if they didn't play in the morning at all, and then if they did play. So come back here, we have the 1 hour during these times. So this is before school and after school. They have an hour both times, right? But they only have 1 hour during that. So if they play for 30 minutes in the morning, they can only play for 30 minutes in the afternoon. If they play for the full hour in the morning, they can only play, or they can't play at all in the afternoon. So that's basically how that works. And you can set those, kind of however you want. So there you go. So, and they can go in here and you can allow them to ask for more time or not ask for more time right there. The next thing that we're going to look at is the time reports. You can actually come right over here, turn these on, and this will show your time reports of the child, when they played, when they logged in, all that kind of stuff. And you can have it email it to you as well if you want to, right down here at the bottom. But this will show you your time reports. I don't personally have it turned on because I don't care. I actually don't play Fortnite much anymore. I used to play it a ton. But that's basically how this works, is you can see when they logged in, when they logged out, and how long they played on any given day. And you can go back, in time to see how long that was. I can't really look at a whole lot because obviously I haven't logged in, or nobody on my account has logged in. So that's basically the extent of this new feature. This is essentially where you go to check on it. You can go to email preferences so you can see some stuff, and then you can go over here if you want to and allow creative mode. So you can turn on or off creative mode to allow your child to create worlds, which is a lot like Roblox. I think this is where people get a little bit confused on which one is better, Roblox or Fortnite. A lot of people are debating right now, saying that Roblox is terrible because it allows people, a lot of predators and things like that, to then go in and make these terrible worlds, and they try to prey on your kids. I'm not going to get into all of that, but Fortnite also has a similar mode with the creative mode that allows them to create worlds, create levels, create games within Fortnite. So that's what this is. It's very, very similar to Roblox, but I feel like Fortnite is a little bit more parent friendly, I guess. I want to say kid friendly, but it's more parent friendly, allowing parents, a little bit. You don't have to worry as much as you do in Roblox. Roblox is very easy to get around some of those parental controls, and it's very easy to find things that the kids shouldn't be finding. Epic Games is a lot better about that. I'm not going to say they're perfect, but they're a lot better. So those are the main features of the parental controls. Now, with all of that said, I want to talk about, are these worth using? And should you use these? So I've seen a lot of parents that are like, oh, yay, we have these parental controls. And I'm going to say something that a lot of parents are probably going to disagree with, and they might get a little bit offended by it, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. Parental controls are a tool, right? They're a tool to help you with your kids. They're not there to babysit for you. They're not there to say, hey, you can play your game, but you can only play it for this amount of time. And as soon as that's done, you need to go do your chores or whatever. You still have to be a parent, right? You still have to get up. You still have to walk over to your kid and say, hey, you need to get off the game. You need to get your homework done. You need to get your chores done. You need to do whatever it is that I expect of you. And then maybe you can get some more game time, right? It doesn't replace being a parent. And I think that's a huge issue that a lot of parents are seeing. I'm a parent, right? I have a 10-year-old son. I see this all the time. I don't really give my son any type of restrictions on his game time. I don't limit his Nintendo Switch time. I don't limit any of his game time through apps, right? I just don't. If I want him to get off the game, I want him to do something else, I go up to him and I say, hey, bud, you need to get off the game. Finish up the level you're on, which really, really helps out, is just say, hey, finish up the level you're on. I know that, you don't want to quit in the middle of something, especially in a game of Fortnite. You're playing some Battle Royale. You have 5 minutes left. The world's getting smaller. You're doing really well. You're top 10 or whatever. They want to see how far they can get. And if you just cut it off on them, they're going to freak out almost every time. Even if your child isn't prone to doing stuff like that, if you just turn it off, they're going to freak out. So it's easier to say, hey, finish up this game, and then you've got to get off. You've got to go take a bath. You got to do this. You got to, whatever it is that you need your child to do. And hey, if you get those things done in a reasonable amount of time, I'll let you get back on and play one more game. Or, you get an extra 30 minutes or whatever however you want to work on that. And you can give them that parental control. Now, what I think, and I'm going to say, is that parental controls, these are for if you are a busy person, right? Let's say you want your kid to allow them to play a game. It's a Saturday afternoon, but you have some work to do. Maybe, you didn't get everything done on your Monday through Friday job, but you got to send some emails or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. Maybe you just want some time to yourself and you want to go sunbathe in the backyard. Whatever. You can then set up these controls and it'll automatically cut them off at a certain time just in case you get overwhelmed with whatever you're doing, or, you lose track of time or whatever, which happens to all of us. And there's nothing wrong with that. So that's where I think these parental controls are good. Put them in there as kind of an alarm clock, right? When kids have to get up for school, we set their alarm in the morning and it goes off. Okay, wake up, kids. But we also set our alarms. Like I said, I have a 10-year-old. I can't just set his alarm and expect him to wake up, get ready for school, and get out the door, get to the bus stop or whatever to get to school, right? I can't expect him to do that. I also set my alarm. I also wake up in the morning and I go into his room and I'm like, hey, bud, it's time to get up. Let's start moving, but you got to be nice about it. You can't just go in there and start yelling and screaming at him. Doesn't work. Same way with video games. If you just go up there when they're playing their video games and you start yelling and screaming, get off the game, you've got to do this, you got to do that, it doesn't work. I promise you it does not work. Tell them, hey, start waking up. Same way you're going to say, start getting off the game. You have 10 minutes, you have 15 minutes, you have 5 minutes, whatever. Give them a time limit. Say, hey, time to start wrapping up what you're doing, time to get out of bed. And, we've got things that we have to do today. If you can get those things done, go to school, do your schoolwork, etc., then you can go take a nap. You can, go to bed early if you want to. You can play more of your game. It's the same thing. So, we can't just blame video games. We've got to take control of that. And this is a tool to help you take control of that, but it does not do it for you. Anyway, that's what I wanted to say about this. It's very important to me because I see a lot of parents that are just like all over their kids and they're like, my kid has a terrible attitude. I'm not saying I don't know why some of these kids have terrible attitudes. There could be a lot of different reasons, but I will say that I think a lot of that comes from the parent in the beginning allowing their child to have a lot of screen time and then they take it away. And they say, okay, we're going to start setting these controls. And it's like you didn't set that up in the beginning. You didn't allow them in the beginning to regulate that themselves. You just said, have all of it. And then you're like, that's too much. We're going to start taking it away. That confuses the kids. So that's pretty much it. That's what I wanted to say about it. Hopefully these controls help you if you have a child that plays Fortnite. And there's a lot of parental controls on a lot of other systems. You have them on the PlayStation, the Xbox, the Nintendo Switch. You can put them on everything if you want to, but just remember those are tools to help you regulate your kids' games, not to help your kids regulate their own game time. Those are tools for you. All right, that's going to be it. That's all. Into some